So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our WAEC biology exam revision series, we have here these 20 repeated questions to answer on the topic ecological concepts. So guys, this video will be about the ecosystem. So in short, stay till the end of this video. Let's start with the first question here. It says, the rate of decomposition of dead organisms is faster in the tropical rainforest than in other biomes because A. Consistent cool temperature, B. Because of the relatively constant daylight, C. Because there are more plants, and D. Because of availability of moisture. So guys, the answer to this question is actually option D here. That's the availability of moisture. So moisture actually is needed in decomposition. So actually the rate of decomposition is influenced by various factors, and in the tropical rainforest, the availability of moisture is a critical factor that actually accelerates decomposition. So that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question. Question number 2. It says, which of the following components make up an ecosystem? We have A. Plants, decomposers, and non-living factors. B. Living and non-living factors. C. Decomposers, animals, and non-living factors. D. Plants and non-living factors. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, living and non-living factors. Let's consider the next question. Question number 3. It says, soil with the finest mixture is A. Sand, B. Clay, C. Silt, D. Gravel. So guys, the answer to this question is actually option B, and that's the clay. The texture of the soil is actually determined by the size of the particles that make up the soil. So the smallest particles are found in the clay. That's why the clay is actually the finest texture out of these. So let's consider the next question. Question number 4 here. It says, the diagram below is an illustration of the growth of plants in water culture. After a few days, the solution turned green and the plants died. Use the information to answer the question below. We have, all right, so here's the question, and the question actually says, the death of the plant was likely caused by A. Excess supply of nutrients to the plants, B. Inability of the plants to make food due to lack of sunlight, C. Algal growth in the solution that used up the nutrients, D. Inadequate supply of water to the plants. So guys, actually the answer to this question here is option C, and that's algal growth in the solution that used up the nutrients. So the death of the plant was actually caused by the growth of the algae. Since from the information we have here, the solution actually turned green and then the plant died. So the algae that actually grew in the water has actually made use of the nutrients that the plants were supposed to use, and then leading to the death of the plants. So let's consider the next question. Question number 5. It says, light is excluded from a water culture experiment in order to A. Enable the roots to grow straight downwards, B. Prevent growth of algae, C. Prevent ionization of water molecules, D. Prevent overheating of the roots. So guys, the answer to this question is option B here, and that's to prevent the growth of algae. So let's consider the next question. Question number 6 here. It says, which of the following is not true about a potted plant left in the laboratory for 1 week without watering? We have A. Plants will not take in enough nutrients. B. The leaves are likely to turn yellow. C. The cells of the plants will be turgid. B. There will be wilting of the plants. So guys, the answer to this question is actually option C here. The cells of the plants will be turgid. When a plant is left without watering for a week, it will experience water stress. So this will actually lead to loss of turgidity in the plant cells. So the plants will actually just wilt and probably die from there. So guys, the answer to this question is option C. So let's consider the next question. Question number 7. It says the complex relationship between the members of a community and their physical environment is known as A, commensalism, B, saprophytism, C, ecology, D, symbiosis. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's ecology. Let's consider the next question. Question number 8. It says the importance of the concentration of chloroplast in the palisade layer of the leaf is for maximum exposure to A, oxygen, B, light, C, carbon dioxide, D, water. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's light. Let's consider the next question. Question number 9. It says, which of the following cycles involve the process of precipitation and transpiration? A, nitrogen cycle, B, oxygen cycle, C, water cycle, D, carbon cycle. Actually, the answer to this question is option C, and that's water cycle. Water cycle involves the process of precipitation, and it also involves the process of transpiration. So guys, let's also keep in mind that transpiration is the loss of water vapor from the aerial parts of a plant, especially through the stomata of the leaves in the plants. And then precipitation is the process through which water vapor in the atmosphere condenses and drops down in form of water droplets, actually rain in that case. So let's consider the next question. Question number 10. We have here this diagram, guys, and the question actually says the setup directly measures A, absorption of water by the roots, B, loss of mineral salts from the leaves, C, transpiration of water by shoots, and D, evaporation of water from leaves. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's transpiration of water by shoots. So that's it for that question. Guys, let's go ahead and check out the next question. Question number 11 here. The question says, the rate of decomposition of organisms is faster in the tropical rainforest than in other biomes because A, there are more plants per square feet, B, because of the relatively constant daylight, C, because of constant cool temperatures, and D, because of abundance of water. So guys, actually the answer to this question is option D, the abundance of water. So here we have a diagram. Question number 12. It says the diagram below is an illustration of the growth of a plant in water culture. After a few days, the solution turned green and the plant died. Use the information to answer the question below. It says, what's the precaution that should be taken to prevent the solution from turning green? So options: A, cover the culture vessel with opaque paper, B, aerate the solution daily, C, keep cotton wool around the seedling to make it dry, D, use non-green plants for the experiment. So actually, the answer to this question is option A, that's cover the culture vessel with opaque paper. And guys, covering the culture vessel with opaque paper will prevent the entry of sunlight, thereby preventing the growth of algae in these experiments. So that's it for that question. The next is question number 13 here. It says all the available places on earth which support life constitutes the A, biosphere, B, lithosphere, C, atmosphere, and D, hydrosphere. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's biosphere. So let's consider the next question, question number 14. It says, the term ecosystem refers to A, living organisms interacting with the physical environment, B, different groups of green plants in a habitat, C, members of a particular plant and animals living in a habitat, D, living members of a habitat. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's living organisms interacting with the physical environment. Let's consider the next question, question number 15. Here it says, which of the following statements about ecosystem is false? A, ecosystems must start with the capture of energy by autotrophs. B, all the energy entering the ecosystem is passed on to decomposers. C, the primary producers provide energy for herbivores and carnivores. D, energy transfer from one trophic level to the other is not 100% efficient. So guys, the false statement here is option B, all energy entering the ecosystem is passed on to decomposers. So this is not true, and it's the false statement in this. Answer the next question, question number 16. Here it says, which of the following processes removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? A, transpiration, B, respiration, C, excretion, D, photosynthesis. So guys, the process of photosynthesis actually removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, since plants will absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and release oxygen. So let's consider the next question, question number 17. It says, the removal of all the phloem tissues of the stem of a plant close to the root system for a long period of time is likely to A, accumulate more starch in the roots, B, cause the plants to wither and die, C, cause the underground roots to develop buds, and D, provide more energy to the roots. So guys, actually the answer to this question is option B. The phloem is a type of tissue in the vascular plants that transports nutrients, including sugar, produced during photosynthesis from the leaves where they are produced to other parts of the plant. So if these tissues are removed, the plants will not be able to transport these nutrients, and this will lead to deficiency and eventually cause the plants to wither and die. So that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question, question number 18. We have a diagram here, and it says, study the diagram of the zones of a marine habitat below and use it to answer this question. In which of the zones can very few organisms be found? We have III, IV, and II. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's IV. The IV here is the benthic zone and is characterized by the presence of cold, dark waters with very few living organisms. So let's consider the next question, question number 19. It says, green plants lose water to the atmosphere through the process of A, photosynthesis, B, translocation, C, transpiration, D, respiration. So guys, the process by which green plants lose water to the atmosphere is actually transpiration, and that's option C here. So let's go ahead and consider the next and last question for this video, and that's question number 20. It says, in a water culture experiment, the culture solution in a transparent beaker turned green. What precaution should have been taken to prevent the culture from turning green? So guys, we have options A here, covering the transparent beaker with a black cloth, B, adding warm alcohol to bleach the green color, C, changing the culture solution regularly, and D, increasing the number of times the culture is irritated. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's covering the transparent beaker with a black cloth. Again, this will prevent the penetration of sunlight. So by such, will prevent the growth of algae in this experiment. And that's it for this question, and this is where we end this video for today. So guys, if you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, you can drop your question on the comment section below and we'll ensure to give you a response. So we also want to encourage you to join our YouTube channel community, where we'll post major updates on WAEC examination. So we encourage you to do that by hitting the join button below, and we'll see you right there. So thank you once again for watching this video, and see you on the next one.